Hey guys, welcome back to the LandCo podcast. Today we're back at it with Matt Lynch. We talked with him before the weekend, and we're going to catch up today on kind of the whitetail activity, see how it went this weekend, and see kind of what he expects over the next week or so. So welcome again, LandCo podcast, Whitetail Report, and let's go ahead and bring Matt in. Matt, thanks for coming back again, man.
Yeah, thanks, dude.
Okay, so you and Ryan are my go-to whitetail experts. So we chatted. When was that? Wednesday, Tuesday? I don't know.
Yeah, sounds
So
about right.
yeah, actually, was it longer than that? When was shotgun season? Last weekend.
Shotgun season was last Friday through Sunday.
Got it. Okay. So give me the rundown. How'd it go? And what you see and what you hear that other people saw?
Yeah, it was interesting. You know, it was a late shotgun season this year, so typically when I go out during shotgun season, I'm seeing lots of chasing. It's just at the tail end of the peak of the rut, so I see lots of bucks up on their feet, chasing kind of all hours of the day. Definitely was not the case this year. I think we kind of were just a few days past that, so did not see really any chasing at all. I saw a few bucks, bumping some does around and kind of out cruising. But there really wasn't any of that midday movement that I was anticipating, which we typically see during shotgun season. It was a lot of moving the first couple hours of the day and then the last hour of shooting light. So it was a little different this year, but just needed to adjust a little bit.
Okay. Well, while we got you, should we tease? You had a pretty good hunt. What, one of these days, right?
Yeah, Sunday, the final hour.
Let me see if I can find it. I know you sent it to me. And we will do well, I'll tell you what, let me tease Pudix deer first. I think we did that last time. There's Pudix deer. We still have another podcast on that. And there's, let's see if I can do it here. Still learning this software a little bit. Where'd you shoot your deer at?
I actually ended up shooting that deer in McLean County. It's a pretty big farm. It's 432 acres that we manage and hunt over there, which is different. I hunted Fulton County in the morning and saw quite a bit of movement, but not from the bucks I was hoping to see, and pictures weren't really giving me what I needed to. So I jumped out to this farm. The corn had just been cut the day before, so I knew that evening movement would be pretty good, and it was. Turned out
Nice.
really good.
It wasn't a deer that you had seen before you were hunting?
You know what? This is a farm that we don't hunt too hard. It's a bigger piece, but we kind of like to lay off it because the deer density is probably the highest there. So we kind of like to let them get comfortable and move around. We did have a couple of pictures of this deer on the neighbor's place. We're friends with them, and then so I knew he was close in the area, and if played my cards right, I could probably go in there and at least get a view of him or one of the two other big boys that we know are in the area. And actually did get, this one came out within bow range, but I had my gun with me, so got about a 20-yard shot on him. And then right after I shot him, I had another one of our shooters pop out at last light. So it was an exciting hunt for
sure. Nice. Well, we will do, like I said, we did a podcast with actually Matt's dad on a just giant deer that he shot. So we'll kind of do the same thing with Matt's deer and Ryan's deer. Hopefully, later in the week, Wednesday, Thursday, something like that.
Perfect.
Okay. So you said it was a little slower, a little different. Was that the case for everybody that you talked to?
You know what? From what I heard, a lot of people, the first part on Friday, I heard some people were seeing some really good movement on Friday morning. A couple of my buddies were able to take really nice bucks on Friday morning. But as we got, later into the season, Saturday, it seemed like, as normally in shotgun season, the deer start to hunker down a little bit. There's a lot of pressure in the woods from all the hunters who aren't out typically and all the shots going on. So, rather than movement you anticipate seeing all day, which you've been seeing in the days leading up to shotgun season, it starts to be more that first hour or two of the day and then the last hour. So, so it was different, but it was still good sightings.
Yes. So what do you think about what is the second shotgun this coming weekend?
Yes, shotgun season starts this Thursday and goes through Sunday. It's like I said, I don't typically like shotgun season, the second season at least, unless there's a really big front coming in. You know, you get cold weather or a big weather front rolling in. These deer have been pressured pretty hard. They've been shot at. There's been a lot of traffic in their territory, so they tend to hunker down quite a bit. The rut's typically over. There's not a lot of chasing, so really, for the most part, you need these deer to be back on food to, you know, be able to lay your eyes on them. And they typically try to stay away from daylight hours unless, you know, the weather, you know, gets them up on their feet. And we're just not seeing those cold temperatures like we really would like to see to get them moving, you know, before shooting hours are over, or the first couple hours of the day. So I still think, you know, in some areas that haven't been pressured too hard, you're going to see some good movement. And, you know, maybe the first hours are making their way back to bed, or, you know, maybe coming out at, you know, within the last half hour to 15 minutes before last light. But we really need those cold temps to move in, to really get these bucks back on their feet.
You know, it doesn't look like it's happening either. We're kind
No,
of
not
stuck
anytime
in
soon.
mid 30s for the rest of the week.
Yeah, it looks like it may be even a couple days warmer than that. So
Okay. Well, cool, man. Well, I appreciate you kind of hopping on and telling us what's going on out there in the field. Again, congrats on your buck. We'll try to get that done later in the week.
yeah,
For
appreciate
those
it.
of you that are listening on Facebook, stick around. We're going to do another one on what is it, 107 acres there in Fulton.
Yep, Southwest Fulton County. It's 107 acres. So looking forward to doing that one.
Got it. Okay. Well, that'll wrap it up. Matt, thanks for joining me, and thanks for listening, guys. And we'll be back at you shortly with another one.